Make sure you like and subscribe to the Talking Noise podcast on Apple Podcasts. What's up, people? Another episode of Talking Noise podcast, episode 8. Look a little different today. I mean, it's only me and Harper today. Mees took a little vacation day. He's acting like he's Kyrie, I guess, putting his PTO in. But it's okay. We're going to
shout out.
This thing going. Yeah, definitely shout out Mees. We got some guests in his place. How you been, Harper?
Good, man. Enjoying this hot weather out here, man. This NBA Finals. We building legacies this week, man.
Oh, I hope so. We're going to see. I mean, it's a lot at stake. A lot of legacy building from this NBA Finals. We'll get to that a little later, but I'm going to hit on a little news since we been out of the way, you know what I mean? Diana Taurasi makes the WNBA history, first player to score 9K points. Chauncey Billups hired as the new head coach for the Blazers. Carmelo Anthony. You said what?
A lot of controversy with that hire.
It was. But, I mean, people going to bring up old tweets. They're going to bring up old stuff from everybody's past. But, you know, we in a new day now. And, you know, everything is kind of sensitive these days. Carmelo Anthony, what was he in the news for?
Are we supposed
a lot of different Nah, he has won the first ever Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Social Justice Champion Award for upholding NBA's values for equality, respect, and inclusion. So we want to give a shout out to that. Trae Young got injured in Game 4. We'll hit on that soon. And the big story out of the Olympics, Sha'Carri Richardson suspended for 1 month after a positive test for marijuana. She will be back. I always told people her gift was ready, but she wasn't ready. So I know this is hard for some people. And some people look at this and think, oh, she should be out there. But, you know, she'll have a chance to get out there. But, you know, my thing, rules is rules. Huh?
Hopefully she has many more chances.
Yeah, many more chances. I think she has many more chances. I'm glad Nike's sticking with her and giving their respects to her and kind of keeping her uplifted. You know, she has some terrible news in her life, but she will get through it, and I'm pretty sure people will back her now that this has happened. But we got a lot to get to today. We got some guests we want to bring on here. Some people I know really well, work with, went to school with, talk to on a daily basis. Let's get these people up here, man. We got Tyler Collins. We got Jerrell. And we got my boy K-Dubb in the building. How y'all fellas feeling, man?
What's going on now?
Feeling good, living better, baby.
Man. Feeling blessed, man. Feeling good.
I just want to let y'all know y'all are getting into the Lions dance. It gets really tough in this place. So if you can't take the heat, just raise your hand. I can move you to the audience, okay?
Ain't nobody worried about y'all. I ain't got no smoke.
Tyler leaving already. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. CP3 and the Suns beat the Clippers to advance to the NBA Finals. It was getting a little scary at the end. The Clippers won Game 5, and then the Suns beat the Clippers in that Game 6 to close it out. CP3 with a phenomenal game in that Game 6. We know CP3 is your boy, Tyler. I mean, what did you see in this series, and what do you think won this series for the Suns?
Well, I'm actually amazed that he picked the Suns when he was a free agent to go to. I mean, I was thinking of the rumors was like Milwaukee. Of course, he's always dismissed Boston, which I find it hard to believe because you put Tatum and Brown and a point guard like CP3 together, they're running the East. But he took the Suns team, a young team, and he saw something that I didn't see. A team that was finished 11th in the division last year, and their second best NBA record this year. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think they just played with that pace, that youth, and then with Kawhi Leonard not being available, that helped them. But I mean, CP3 also had to miss 2 games for COVID-19 testing. But I think he did what I thought he would do. He would be the floor general, and these young cats on the team wanted to listen to him and play to how he expected them to play. And they get they get the Western Conference Finals championship.
Definitely a championship that CP3 really needed on his resume. You know.
Right.
I'm a big critic of CP3. I used to call him CP0.
Yes, we all know.
You still don't consider him a top 5 point guard, right?
That's crazy, bro.
He might get into that. He might get into that if he wins. I'll say that. But right now,
he has to win to get be top 5 point guard right now.
No,
yes, because the top 5 that's in there already won. You see what I'm saying?
Who's your top 5?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute.
See?
Harper, you saw the series. You saw what happened. What's your take on CP3 performance? Booker and them kind of overcoming Kawhi-less Clippers.
Well, again, like we say, we always been very critical of Chris Paul, only because he is a great player. So I expect great things. He's a great regular season player. He has not always showed up in the playoffs for whatever reason, whether it may be injury or just inconsistency or just bad matchups or he just hadn't hit this level. I feel like this year, his eyes on the prize, he can smell it, man. To me, and I know LeBron and a couple guys want to point to injury, but I mean injuries are every year, every injuries. Chris Paul was in his playoffs. He took charge, man. Those last couple of games, he took charge. Like, he's the clear team. A lot of those young guys, I'll be honest, I don't think the Suns would have made the playoffs again this year hadn't they had Chris Paul. I mean, they haven't made it in how long? He's a true leader, man. This is like his really last go to get it. Clippers gave up a real good fight, especially toward the end. They did mess up in areas. Paul George did what he could do, but Paul George let you know that he is a star and not a superstar. Chris Paul is displaying that he is still a superstar at 36, almost 37 years old. So I think Monty Williams is also doing a really, really good job, and that needs to be spoke on. So, yeah.
Should have been in Coach of the Year, but,
PG County.
There was some other things that went into it. K-Dubb, you really high on CP3. You've been giving him praise since probably the playoffs, before the playoffs started. What's your thoughts on the series and what he's doing right now?
Man.
Hey, man. Look, one thing about Chris Paul, you just got to give respect to the man. The man is a leader. The man is a head honcho captain. Every time he comes on a new team, their win differential changes. I mean, he brings them together. You've seen it from when he got to New Orleans, changed them, was making them into the playoff teams. There was a factor with Tyson Chandler and David West. Same thing when he went to the Clippers, got, Lob City, went to Houston, James Harden. But so he does it every time. I think he's already top 5 even before the championship. Am I surprised that they beat the Clippers? I mean, let's be honest with you. Let's be honest. The stars have aligned for Chris Paul and the Suns. They pretty much had a cakewalk. I mean, going back, AD was hurt. Then they got to the Nuggets. I mean, no Murray. Then it got to the Clippers. No Kawhi. So it's like, I'm not surprised. I knew they was going to be in the finals. I mean, it's just meant for them to win this one. I mean, when they go into the finals, it's just meant for them. Simple as that.
Yeah, they seem to be the favorite. They seem to come out kind of like playing together. I mean, everybody's buying into the system. Monty Williams is doing an incredible job just making plays. We got to give credit to Aiden. He's killing the glass, clogging the paint up, playing defense, and just being a presence for the Suns. I mean, that everybody like Payne coming in, and then people like Cam Johnson just stepping up. They're really playing like team ball.
Carolina, baby.
I always Tar Heels all day, that. And then people, the Clippers was kind of defeated a little bit. I mean, they gave up a good fight without Kawhi, beating the Jazz, and then coming in here and pushing it to 6 games with the Suns. What you got to say, K-Dubb? Because you got something to say. What?
Oh no, I was just gonna say the Clippers. They gave up. They gave up on their season when they traded Lou Will. Like that's when you
I'm not
needed
gonna say
Lou
that.
Will. When yes, yes, when they let go Lou
bro.
Will, you needed they already
What is
look.
this,
First of all,
2010?
you got to give respect to Lou Will. All right, give respect to the six man. All right, that man is a walking bucket. You needed points. Reggie Jackson. There was a cap on Reggie Jackson's skills. I already knew that was gonna happen. I mean, Morris did have a great playoffs, but Lou Will's where you needed. He could have stepped up. He would have definitely gave you buckets because you're not gonna get it from Rondo and Beverly. It's not happening. Those are just defensive prowls. They have no offensive. They put no offensive fear on the court. So I mean, I think that's when they gave it up. When I seen that happen, I was like, especially they didn't get a Kyle Lowry back. I knew it. I was like, well, they're not gonna go far. They were going far as Kawhi could take them, but once he was done, it was over.
But you got to give respect to Paul George for redeeming himself based off last year. Like he really performed, and even though we would slander him like crazy last year, and rightfully so, this year I felt like he really did a really good job in the postseason, especially losing Kawhi.
Hold on, K-Dub. So let me say something right quick.
Go ahead.
So you tell me right now you would take Lou Will over Reggie? How Reggie Jackson played in this playoffs?
They needed Reggie, but they needed another scorer. When they let go Montrezl Harrell, when Montrezl Harrell walked to the LA, I feel like they never filled it up. And then so it was like, okay, well, you had Lou Will in the season, but when they let go that other bench scorer. Reggie was started. They had nothing coming off the bench. They had nothing coming out. Patrick Beverly scares you when he come off.
No, that's a good point to K-Dub because they traded for Rondo and Rondo was on the bench, so he gave you nothing.
But that wasn't. So you got to understand. I mean, Reggie would have been a part of that bench had Kawhi not went down. I mean, Kawhi is your centerpiece went down. You know, I feel like Reggie Jackson earned himself a big contract. This
he
playoff.
Sure did.
Like, he sure did. But what's been the trend for the playoffs? Injuries, yeah. So I mean, yeah, we can say if Kawhi was there, he probably wouldn't have got that. But it's always the next man up in this business, in this sport. And that's pretty much, what happened in this pretty much playoffs. I mean, people have to step up and actually play good. And you see what Lou Williams won a game against the Sixers, had 13 in that fourth quarter, and then played decent minutes when they won a game when Trae Young got hurt. And what was that, game 5? No, game 4. Game 4. Was it game 4? Because they won 5 and 6. It was game 4 when they won. So he played a big part. And you know what Atlanta did down there, and I see what K-Dub is saying is he could have gave you a spark or something different when, just imagine if you could have put a Reggie Jackson and a Lou instead of Rondo.
Also, Ibaka.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Ibaka was out too. So it was a couple of things that, that could have happened. Jerrell, I mean, you saw what happened. What you got to say about it?
I would say to piggyback what everyone else was saying. Salute to Chris Paul. He wielded this team to make the finals. I will say, like, going into the bubble, remember the Suns were undefeated, and they still, because of their record going into the bubble, they still couldn't make it. So Chris joins his former coach and Monty Williams. Suns up there, an emerging team. They wouldn't have been a powerhouse. And with Chris Paul, he's a talent optimizer. Like, he's going to get the best out of everyone. He made the Thunder, who looked like he was going to death row, and they were a 6th seed in the West. So you get a team that's on the come up, going undefeated in the bubble, and that's his ability to optimize, make Devin Booker even a better player, make DeAndre Ayton really look like the number 1 overall pick a few years ago. It's just a testament to how he's able to lead a team, his skill set. And again, shout out Monty Williams for the amazing coaching job, PG County, all day, every day. And yeah, man, again,
well, we heard him the first 3 times, didn't we?
Right.
Salute to Paul George for at least holding down the fort as best he could for the Clippers to make it a entertaining series, but the better team won.
Somebody said he was top 5 all time. You said that, K-Dub?
He's a top 5 point guard. Just getting into the finals made him top 5. Like, universally, he's top 5.
But I mean, I think before that he was top 5.
I mean, that's
before that he was not top 5. Let's not get into. I can get into the history of Chris Paul. I definitely can do that.
Name 5 guards better than him, though.
Point guard. Magic. Stockton.
Stockton, Isaiah, Steph Curry. You can go down to Jason
Steve
Kidd.
Nash over him.
Steve Nash is not better.
Oscar Robertson.
Two-time
Steve
MVP.
Nash is not better. We're not doing that today. We're not doing that today, dog.
Resume wise, he is better. Now, what you like about his game, maybe not, but resume wise, he's better.
If career ended before this year, like you said, he would be better.
He's better.
His career would have been better,
bro.
John Stockton over Chris Paul.
Really?
I'm a Stockton guy.
John Stockton probably got 2,000 plus more assists and steals than
anybody.
CP3.
No, Stockton's a top 5 point guard, but Steve Nash is a top 5 point guard.
Look at Ty Collins over there looking at him.
Steve Nash. First of all, we already know Steve Nash don't even deserve one of those MVPs. Let's just stop.
Which one?
Either of them, but
he pretty much over Shaq.
He won back to back.
Does Chris Paul deserve one?
Be honest, Derrick will be like, man, Mark Jackson better than Chris Paul. Freaking Andre Miller better than Chris Paul. Come on, man. Rajon Rondo better than Chris Paul. Guy Rogers better than Chris Paul.
Rondo has two. Rondo has two.
Hey, Kevin Johnson, right? Kevin Johnson. I mean,
no. Those are not the guys I named, but I'm talking about a guy who has a career of not getting out of the second round. He has a career of being injured and can't get his team over the hump. He has a career of losing series when you up 2-1 or up 3-1. This is a guy that hasn't got it done in the playoffs, and now 16 years later, he's finally doing that. Has he changed teams?
Karl Malone his whole career.
Has he changed teams? Yeah.
Come on, man. He had Karl Malone, the mailman, his whole career. You could get that many assists if you're sitting there dumping inside that low post to Karl Malone. Chris Paul went to how many teams and resurrected them? I mean, the Suns were trash. The Suns flipped the switch when they got Chris Paul. They had the second best record in the NBA, bro.
Talk to him.
They got Booker and then Ayton, which everybody said forgot about Ayton, and then all of a sudden
it's the NC bias.
That's what he's able to give him a bias. Yeah.
Okay. How many times has Chris Paul been in the conference finals in 16 years?
I mean, we can play this game all you want.
How many?
I mean, okay.
So he's been two out of 16 years, right?
And that's in the last 4 years.
Chauncey Billups is a better point guard than Chris Paul.
I mean, he is an NBA Finals, and he beat Shaq, Karl Malone, Kobe, and Gary Payton.
Hey, BJ Armstrong, better point guard than Chris Paul. The logic is flawed, player.
No, it's not that. It's not.
So you're saying Derrick Fisher better than Chris Paul?
Argument. What are y'all saying? Other than you like him?
You say Derrick Fisher better than Chris Paul?
No, I'm not saying that.
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Did you say
that's his logic?
But what are y'all basing? Hold on. But what are y'all basing this off of? Other than you
scoring, defense,
being a leader,
scoring, being a leader. Like the way he scores better than those guys, or do you
more efficient?
Scoring.
He's not more efficient than Steve. Steve Nash is one of the most efficient NBA players in history,
and he's a liability on defense. And when it really mattered, he didn't show up.
So is Steph Curry, and so is Steph Curry.
Steph Curry is a better defender than Steve Nash. I'm a better defender than Steve Nash, and
Steph Curry liability on defense.
Steph Curry liability.
Is Steph Curry liability on defense?
He's the greatest shooter ever.
Steph Curry liability on defense,
but he led his team.
Exactly.
They can't say
John Stockton wasn't a leader.
He led his team. But how many finals MVPs Steph got?
Steph Curry didn't lead his team.
How many finals MVPs he got?
Bro, I'm a unanimous league MVP. It don't even matter, bro.
Steve Nash got 2 back-to-back, so
he didn't deserve them.
Hold up.
Kobe deserved one of them, wouldn't he?
No, so Steve Nash has 2 MVPs, was on better Phoenix Suns teams than Chris Paul's teams, but yet Chris Paul made the finals, right?
Why were they better?
Okay. What do you mean why they were better? They had a prime Amari Stoudemire is better than everyone on the Suns team.
Amari, Raja Bell, Barbosa.
Amari Stoudemire better than David West.
Those 2017 of Suns were good.
Hold on. What you say, Ty?
I said that 2006, 2007 Suns team was one of the best in the West. You know that. The only problem
Exactly.
they had
And
is
they choked.
they had to.
Why were they number?
on
Why were they the
Dubb,
best?
and Dubb
Why?
killed them.
Who was their leader? Who was their leader?
Because their depth. They had Nash and Amari.
Who was their leader? Who was their leader?
Leader folded.
Amari Stoudemire.
Blake Griffin better than Amari Stoudemire, guys?
Nah.
No.
Not in his prime.
No.
Not in his prime.
All right.
Oh, come on, stop it.
Nah.
We
Look,
first of all,
Amari, hey, Blake's still not as good with Amari with the sunglasses on.
Hey, look, other than one season in New York before he broke his hand, Steve Nash made Amari Stoudemire. And y'all telling me that Amari Stoudemire is better than all of these guys, and it's because
what did Steve Nash do when he went to LA? Nothing.
He had a bum back.
Yeah. He had now he's got a bum back.
Did Steve Nash make the finals? Wait,
35.
Steve Nash played on really good
Chris
teams his
Paul's
whole
36.
career and never got a final.
He's doing a great job. That doesn't make him better for 1 year.
Stop it.
I mean, what
taking
conference
this-
finals did Steve Nash get to?
Huh?
He went to 2.
He went
And
to
how
2.
many did he win? Okay, then what are we
He
talking
didn't
about?
get
I don't want to make this a bashing Chris Paul moment because this is his moment right now. But if we're gonna be honest, hold on, if we're gonna be completely honest right now. If AD hadn't got hurt, we wouldn't be talking about Chris Paul right now. We
But
actually
Steve
be
Nash
saying we'd be calling him
better teams and
CP0.
folded every time. When
Say
he
what
was
now?
when he was with Dallas, he had Dirk and Finley choke. When he was in Phoenix,
He played on
both
that team for
two-time MVPs
1.5
choke, right?
seasons with those
Talk to
guys.
him, Dad. Talk
And
to
that
him.
was a
1.5
big-
seasons. Are you serious?
He played with Dirk and them for 2 years.
But you're not understanding. He got to the conference finals, right?
What's the
This
point
is-
of getting there if you don't win? You Jim Kelly now? Like, come on, bro.
No.
Jim Kelly
He
was
got
the
that.
quarterbacks of all
He had
time.
the
Did he
MVPs.
win?
He got his team there. That's what I'm saying. Chris Paul did not do that. Now he's in his 16th year, and now he's getting to that.
Did
And
Nash
we're giving him his
win?
flowers. We're giving him
Wait,
his
hold on.
flowers.
Steve Nash's
But-
first ring was being an assistant on the Warriors in 2017. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Chris
if
Paul ain't got a ring yet, so
at least he's in the finals. Like, what does Steve Nash do?
It's
He had to
game
get to the
2.
finals.
Jerrell, it's
No.
game 2.
And guess what? He ain't backing away from the moment. Look,
You
I feel
never
like
saw
y'all
Steve
are
Nash on that
really not.
stage.
Y'all are really not understanding the fact that this man has gone team to team, improved them, got them from being at the bottom of the barrel to getting them into the top seeds of the playoffs. He's
another Philadelphia
He's had
76ers.
21 leads blown in 2 different places.
He's another Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, what?
Getting tossed in the second round.
What other team gonna lead? Yeah, they blew. There's one in the Clippers, but that's a Doc Rivers thing.
That's a Doc Rivers. Don't put that on
What'd
him.
you say?
That's Doc
None of that
Rivers.
is- none of that was on Chris Paul.
No,
That's on
Chris
Doc
deserves
Rivers.
some of it, but
Let's
look
move
at
on,
Doc
man. Let's
Rivers.
move on,
But
man.
Steve
Let's move
Nash
on.
losing is Steve Nash's fault. Not D'Antoni in that gimmick offense. Not at all, right?
But that gimmick always made him MVP, right? So
2
pick your
times.
poison.
No, he made him the MVP. Let's move on,
All
man. Bucks, man. Bucks. We can go all this. Now, you're more than welcome to come back because we can talk about this. Who's the
Andre
top 5
Miller,
point
better
guard?
point guard than Chris Paul.
Who's the top 5 point guard of all time? We can definitely do that.
Magic Johnson, Chris Paul,
obviously-
He probably go.
Isaiah
Hey, yo, Ty.
Thomas. Yeah.
Ty, he gonna say Eric Snow is a better point guard than Chris Paul.
Oh yeah, he already said it. Look at him. He's got the resume.
He went to a
Hey,
finals,
he got
didn't he?
2K free agency rosters pulled up over here, just naming guys. At this, come on now, come on, man.
Chill out. All right, Bucks hold off the Hawks.
But again, wait. All right. So again, we got to go back to the point guard debate because
Oh,
all right. So okay, but I mean, if you're gonna go take it like, what did he win? Allen Iverson is one of the best point guards. I mean, we've ever seen.
Two guard.
He's
Y'all
the
just
best
named this point
Nobody
guard.
Nobody crossed the ball like Allen Iverson.
Yes,
So I mean,
That's-
like he didn't have
that's
anything
fair,
on his resume.
but he was definitely a shooting guard.
He's a 2 guard. Eric Snow, who he said is better than Chris Paul. That was your point guard.
Allen Iverson is a true point guard. I mean, he might be
He's
able to
just
play.
the size of a point. That's it.
Yeah, he's a two.
That guy's got so much handles. Like, who play point?
Yeah, Eric Snow played point.
Eric Snow.
Yeah,
Eric
right.
Snow's point.
That's right. He played Snow for a little bit, right? But who ran that series in 2001?
Hey, how about
Honestly,
this?
Iverson ran it.
Eric Snow was Iverson's point guard longer than Steve Nash was Dirk's point guard. How about that?
Okay. Okay.
He couldn't get there though. Bucks hold off the Hawks after Greek goes down with the injury to advance to the finals. K-Dub, what you think of this series, man?
I mean, to be honest, it's something that I've been saying for a long time. I feel like Chris Middleton, he's the Batman. You know, I feel like he never. I feel like he's the Batman. I'm sorry. I know Giannis get all the Giannis get all the shine, but Middleton is that guy. He's like, hey, he's consistent. So I think that. But like, I wasn't worried.
Hold on. He just said Middleton is consistent. Are you serious?
We're gonna have a great debate today. Are you serious? We're gonna have a good time tonight.
Are you serious? How is he consistent?
How did they get through? How did they get through that series without Greek?
They play good team ball.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
And it was the Atlanta Hawks at the end of the day. It was still
the Hawks coming. The Hawks are coming, bro. The Hawks.
Let's not take away from the Hawks.
I'm not taking away. He had the Hawks out in round one.
I will be honest that I am worried about Middleton in these finals.
I mean, I feel like for the longest. I mean, I think with his shooting, that he kind of bails him out because Greek shooting is still not up to par yet. I mean, it's better than Ben Simmons, but still, I think that Chris Middleton is a guy where they know if they need when it's time to get a consistent bucket, get some shots. I think that he's a go-to guy for them. I want to say. I also think that he did a good job for them coming off the bench, power forward. Hold on 1 second.
Which one? Porter.
Porter. Yeah, Bobby Porter. He was definitely a good boost for them off the bench. Came through for them when they really needed it. I think coming out of it, I think after everything happened when they came out that Nets series, it was like I think they was just on a roll. I think even Trae Young couldn't stop them the way they was coming down. It was just a downhill effect. Hopefully with Greek coming back, they have a shot. But I will say this: without Greek,
they're not winning.
They're not winning. But I said, but I will say this: I still think Middleton is he's just a consistent flow for them.
Can I interject? Let me
go ahead, Jerrell.
All right, so Chris Middleton is not the Batman of the team. He's the closer of the team. So if you look at like the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, Shaq's the best player, but in the fourth quarter, Kobe was getting the ball because Kobe's the better free throw shooter. He's the better clutch shooter, and that's what Chris Middleton is for this Bucks team. But this team doesn't go without Giannis. If Giannis isn't dropping 30, which he didn't drop in game one, they're not winning games, bro. No matter how great Chris Middleton is, you need Giannis to cook. He's the best player on the team, 2-time MVP, former defensive player of the year. Like, Giannis is really the one. Granted, Chris is cool in the clutch. It goes as far as Giannis goes.
Correct. You only going to get so far as your MVP. You need Middleton to be consistent, and you need him to play good basketball in these times. But their big three got to match the Bucks' big three. Well, no, the Bucks got to match the Suns' big three. That's what I should say. Jrue Holiday needs to play big in this finals, or you will not win the finals. You can't go 4 for 14. It's time to cut out.
Consistent.
It's time to cut out whatever you was doing. This is the finals. You on the big stage. This is what they gave you three first round picks, maybe 4 in this big contract for years to come. This is what you need to be doing. So you need to come out Jrue Holiday and play big. But in this series, I mean, Trae Young got hurt. We thought Atlanta was going to lose that game. Atlanta came out, killed them, and really kind of took the heart out of the Bucks in that game. And then the next 2 games, the Bucks went home, and then they kind of killed Middleton, and Jrue played really well. Jrue was aggressive. He was moving the ball. What did he have in that game? I think he had like 13 assists. 13 assists, 6 rebounds, 25 points, and then Middleton had 26 points. But you have Brook Lopez with 33 points, playing in the paint, playing big, and playing like a big man and stretching the floor. So they came and played big that game. And then game 6, you see they went home, and then Middleton had that crazy, what was it? Then he had a 23-point fourth quarter, and then I think a 20-point third quarter, something like that. Third quarter. So he came up and played big. And then every time the Hawks try to cut it into that lead, 13, Drew Holiday hit a 3. Then they came down, it was 12, and then Drew Holiday hit another 3. That's the moments, and that's the things you got to do to be good in the finals, and that's what he needs to do. And Greek got to play and be more aggressive. I mean, I think he will be more aggressive in game 2. Obviously, the Suns up one game on the Bucks, but I think he'll be more aggressive in this game. I mean, he was a week off, came back, he gave you 20 points, 17 rebounds, 6 for 11. He understands that he got to be more aggressive. In his post-game conference, he was actually upbeat. You know what I'm saying? Knowing he got to do better and saying that. So we're going to see what happens and see what they can do. But Drew Holiday got to play big.
Most definitely.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, I just had to say something. So back to the whole, Chris Middleton being the Batman. We've seen it before where you've seen that the guy who's actually the Robin overtakes the other guy. We've seen it back in the day with the Pacers with Danny Granger and Paul George. Paul George was waiting in the wings, and when he got his time, he took over. And I feel like that's going to happen. I said if Giannis doesn't get his skills up and is still playing off athleticism, you will see Middleton take over and will be the Batman for the Milwaukee Bucks. Or he just leave
over though.
What you mean? Together how many years, man?
I guess the game 5 and 6.
Well, you'll see it. I mean, he's been consistent. He's putting up 20. He's putting up 30 points. It's not so. I mean,
he 30 shots though.
Hey, look. Like I said, he's waiting in the wings. He's waiting in the wings. It's just you're gonna start to see that debate if he needs to go on his own team, just like how they do with Clay. Does Clay need to go on his own team, or he just needs to just stay sidekick the stuff?
That'd be in the play-in or 11, 12.
Exactly.
In the lottery.
I'm telling you. Look, no, I'm telling you, Middleton, just like that. Like I said, just like how the Pacers were back in the day, it's gonna the same thing happen with Giannis and Middleton. But like I said, they play together. There's no egos on that team. Giannis is back. He knows he is the head honcho. He's got to get him to the promised land. Drew's definitely got to step up, and I think they still need more. They still need more help off their bench. PJ, I don't know. PJ,
It's a coaching thing because Budenholzer doesn't know how to make adjustments in the
Jerrell,
playoffs. He's horrible. I hate Budenholzer in the playoffs because he does this every time. He gets outcoached. In the last 3 years, whether it was against Toronto, he gets outcoached. Against Miami last year, he gets outcoached. He was low-key getting outcoached a lot in this playoffs, but Giannis, Chris, and Drew bailed him out. So we're really going to see how well Budenholzer can adjust in games 2 through however long the series goes to determine if they can win the championship.
Yeah. So let me jump in. I'm sorry. So Jerrell, you made a good point a minute ago when you said about the Shaq and Kobe dynamic.
Yeah.
If we're going to compare Shaq and Kobe to Giannis and Middleton, we got another problem here. But the point you made, Shaq was the clear Batman of that team.
Right.
When it was time to close, that was Kobe's job, and Kobe is a great closer.
Exactly.
To me, if Middleton is your guy, and we've had 10 years of Middleton to see, he ain't never been this guy. Like this
I agree with you. I agree. Like his role is to just come through and carry us home. But Giannis is the best player, which is why Caleb's saying that's like, huh? Like even if you don't even have to say Shaq and Kobe, you can say LeBron and Wade. LeBron the best player on the team, but in the fourth quarter, who was winning those games? Wade was.
In the beginning, yes. But so the point I wanted to get to is I think the issue with Giannis and Middleton, Giannis needs to stop trying to be so much of a wing. Giannis needs to be more of exactly. He is a center, but he doesn't want to be a center. His skill set looks like a wing, but what he is really good at is what a center does.
But that's Budenholzer on adjustments. That's what it comes down to.
Is it Budenholzer? Is it Budenholzer or is no? I will say a lot of this is Budenholzer, which I think probably is the biggest problem. But again, I say with Giannis, out of all these guys on this court, Giannis has played basketball probably less than all of them. I think Giannis said that he's probably been playing ball now for like 12 years of his life. Like that's crazy. Yeah. And the skill set that these guys out here have, he is still trying to pick up on as a grown man on the fly as he's doing it. I think at this point, he has maxed out his skill set to match his athleticism. Like at this point, he needs to evolve his game and he needs to do it quickly. Now to Middleton, I like him, but Middleton should be your third best guy on a championship team. Now, I know you were saying to go get his own team. If Middleton had his own team, they had a Charlotte Hornets, they had an Orlando Magic. Now, hold on. Now, the guy I want to talk about here, Derek, and we talked about this on last podcast, is Drew Holiday. You traded 4 first-round picks, your entire future, for Drew Holiday. You gave him a max extension, and he's out here giving you 8-9 points. I think he had 5 points in one of those games until the fourth quarter started.
Wait. Now, even though Drew has to play better, they don't make the finals without Drew Holiday. Because who do you rather have right now, Drew Holiday or Eric Bledsoe? I think we can all universally say I want Drew Holiday.
Jerrell, don't play into that because
I call him in our group chat.
He called him Drew Bledsoe.
And I say this because it is. Now, Drew Holiday is better than Eric Bledsoe. He is better. But
first of all, you said, well, how much better is he?
No,
how much better is he?
How much better does he look that much better right now? Like, I'll be honest, we'll go through the rounds.
But did you give him credit for Game 5 and Game 6?
Yes, last podcast I gave him credit.
For Game 5 and not Game 6. You might have gave him credit for the first couple games, but we wasn't on for Game 5 and Game 6. Did you give him credit for that?
Oh,
you was quiet in the group chat, but then you want to come back to do that. Come on.
Like you said, hold on, no.
Yeah.
For Middleton, if you are making $30 million, you need to score 25 points a game. You need to guard the best guard on the floor. Trae Young was killing him. He was killing. If y'all gonna sit up here and tell me that was all Brook Lopez in the pick and roll, then whatever. Then we don't need Drew Holiday making $35 million a year out here, and you can't keep up with Trae Young in his third season, and he's scoring 50 out here every other night.
He did not have a 50-point game.
You're giving me nothing on the other end. He dribbles the ball up court, passes it, and stands in the corner.
Well, your defensive player of the year was getting killed too. Ben Simmons.
Oh, that's another topic.
All right, then. So
that's a whole nother. He wasn't even on the floor when the game mattered.
Ben wasn't getting cooked. It was that's another topic, like you said.
We're not gonna get into
Ben. Ben did his job. Kevin Herter was supposed to drop 27.
Let's leave Ben alone, man. He had Wimbledon. Let's leave Ben alone. He had Wimbledon chilling. All right. But I do got one thing to say. Did you just say Chris Middleton is supposed to be your third man on a team?
No. The way he plays, he would, if he is the third option on a championship team, you can win a championship. If Chris Middleton is the guy I'm depending on as my number one option with 4 or 5 minutes going the game, he about to show you tonight why they not gonna win this championship.
So just a quick question, just to run this out to you. 29, 32, 26, 38. That don't sound like no.
Give me the shot attempts, and you only pulling out the good games. Tell me what he shot the last game.
Last game 12 for 26, 10 for 22, 10
it's all
for 20.
20.
All right.
Under
15 for
man.
15 for 26.
Kobe, y'all. He's not Kobe.
All right.
But listen. So he had 23 in one of those games against the Hawks. He didn't score again until 2:57 in the fourth quarter. He gets missing. Missing. Give me the first 2 games of the Hawks series. What was he?
First 2 games, he was 6 for 23, 6-13.
But that goes to another point where they start slow.
That's like less than probably 30%, probably.
That's why they started slow, Jerrell.
I mean, and you're right. But they're one of these teams, like, you know how in football, the first half, they're just like, and in the second half, there's certain second half teams where you're like, oh, they come to play. And that's the Bucks for real. In Brooklyn, they started slow. And look what happened.
But you understand who they played right before that, right? They was dealing with KD and the Nets.
For sure.
And a grueling game set and a grueling 7-game series. Matter of fact, it sometimes it just takes time to wind it up. Even what happened after with the Clippers and the Mavericks. Your man said it. Mitchell said it. He was like, "Look, we're gonna take them out in game 1. They still tired from game 7. This just happens. Sometimes it's just that carryover effect. It just took them a minute to get going, and then they got the ball rolling. So it was just a hangover effect.
Did they get the ball rolling, or did the other 2 best players on Brooklyn get hurt?
That too, but
hold on.
We're not even talking about the Bucks.
We don't know that. We don't know.
What?
We don't know.
You talk about Kyrie getting hurt. When doesn't he get hurt?
He gets hurt every year. He gets
hurt every year. In his 10 years, Kyrie played 3 He probably played 3 playoffs.
I'm supposed to feel sorry for the Nets.
James never gets hurt though.
I'm supposed to feel sorry for them.
No, I'm not saying you feel sorry, but those are facts that happen, is it not?
They had Blake Griffin. Blake
okay,
Griffin.
Hold on. Since you said that,
is that not real?
Blake Griffin ain't Kyrie or James.
What did he just say? You said AD went down. You said AD went down.
Just wild like that
right on the stars. It'll be a different conversation. You said
it'll be a different conversation.
Kawhi went down.
Different conversation.
Did you Donovan Mitchell got hurt? I mean, this is part of the game. I mean,
Murray. Don't forget Murray.
But no, we never can't
dictate when injuries are going to happen. We can't dictate that. All we have to do is go by what is to come. You got Harden played 53 minutes. He played 40 minutes and gave you nothing. You Trae Young in that last game 6, he was horrible. He should have stayed out and let them play. I mean, it don't matter. You played.
Yeah, he just got on there just to try to be a placebo.
Decoy.
Decoy.
Was he a decoy?
No, he was. I mean,
because they was getting killed.
Derek, we are shoe size away from Brooklyn being in this.
We are.
We're half a shoe size away from not talking about this.
KD practicing for the Olympics right now, so let's not see that.
Yeah, but you can't just sit here and dismiss it.
Okay,
like
so you were shoe size away, but you had overtime. You went 0 for 6 and you airballed the last shot.
So he wasn't gassed. So we're not doing that. But it's cool.
But if it was LeBron, if it was somebody else, another top star, we will be crushing him right now.
Exactly.
KD crushing him right now and played every minute. He had no break. No break, bro.
Who fault is that?
Sorry.
That's Steve Nash.
You went out and got 3 superstars and you had no bench to put somebody in the game to actually give him some minutes. That's on your management up top.
Or Joe Harris turning into Harrison Barnes 2.0. But again, we can move on because we're not talking about that, right?
I mean, so
he's the white 3-point shooter. Like, I mean, he's just supposed to get you a couple threes. That's it.
Okay,
the Batman, y'all win.
They shouldn't have got greedy and should have just kept Levert on the squad.
Yeah,
they shouldn't have got greedy. They shouldn't have.
Wait, you shouldn't have. You should have. When you had to get greedy with Kyrie on your team, you know, he took.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He went to birthday parties. He went to some other stuff. I mean, how many vacations did he go on? I mean, you had to. And then you rest most of these guys most of the season, and then you come out and you still act like you hurt. Come on, let's not do that, guys.
You know, Kyrie Irving.
It's cool. Injuries happen. This is an anomaly of a.
And don't call out Joe like Blake and DeAndre wasn't there.
What did DeAndre do, bro?
DeAndre didn't even play.
Hey, like I said, all I know is when KD and Kyrie came to the squad, they mentioned DeAndre name like he was part of the big 3.
No,
so DeAndre should have been.
You mentioned Joe because he's a starting player that didn't score when he was getting wide open threes. That's your only job, and
for you to win a 3-point contest. And
what did that get him in the playoffs?
Shots,
he just disappeared.
Come on, that's horrible.
He had the best percentage in the league.
And it didn't matter when it mattered.
Correct. Let's hit on this. Suns blow out the Bucks in game 1. Obviously, we got game 2 tonight. What do you guys see in this final series? CP3 in his first finals. This is the first finals for the Suns since what?
93.
93? Okay.
Yeah, 93.
Bucks back in the finals since 74. So,
that's Kareem.
Ty, your boy there, Winston-Salem native, CP3, I meant CP0, excuse me. What you gotta say?
Talk to him.
There it is. What you gotta say about your squad? Do you think he can pull it off?
Yes, definitely. I can see them pulling off. I think you guys touched on the coaching. I'm gonna go with Monty on the coaching, and I'm gonna go with the coaching on the floor, which is by Chris Paul. And I'll say this, and then I got to get out and be a parent for a minute because my wife's going to kill me. But as long as Chris Paul can be the general on the floor, 32 points, 9 assists his first game. I was way above than I thought he would do in game 1. But and the way that they're playing defense on Giannis is pretty impressive. I don't know if you guys watch this, but when Giannis goes low baseline, he'll go 1v1. And then Crowder will then immediately double team him to try to block him off. I like that defense. Now, I don't think it's going to stop him from getting, 20 plus points, but it will be effective. And I think the Suns are just young and they're going to run them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I think they're gonna. I mean, and that's what I said early in the playoffs. I said, do the Lakers want to play a running Suns or a slow pace Jazz? I mean, the Suns get out and run, and then you got CP3, and then you know, I think he might have mentioned it. Somebody mentioned that some of the guys was like, you need to go ahead and pick it up. We want to run. We want to get out there. You know, CP3 got the, you know, old kind of game and things like that. So they want to pick it up and they want to get it, you know, kind of going. And, you know, they're not going to, the Bucks are not going to, if you, they run him so they can get Lopez and them behind the defense, you know. And I really don't think Lopez and Portis could play much, or you might have to play Portis more than Lopez in this series because they're going to stretch him out and they're going to find him on that defensive end. And
you got to play Lopez. You have to play him.
How?
You have to.
They switching him and taking him and killing him.
Hey, Harper, I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna let you do your thing, but I gotta head out. But I want to be back, so please hear me up and go Celtics.
All day go Celtics. All right,
Celtics all day.
We're gonna make sure. Go ahead, Harper.
Okay. So why I feel like you have to play Lopez, like y'all kind of touched on it from the last series. For whatever reason, Lopez has changed. He has evolved his game with the way the game is changing. He no longer plays in the post the last couple games in that Hawk series. He understood that, I can get what I want down here. Like, I know they have Ayton, and Ayton has been a decent defender, more so this year, more so this playoffs. But you have to have Greek and Lopez down low. Like, I think that is the way that this will be a little bit better for them. Like, you need Drew Holiday and a lot of pick and roll action between the both of them, and you got to get those guys in fact, like you got to get Phoenix uncomfortable, whether it be foul trouble or just to keep the pace of the game. I think the Bucks' main problem, they don't really have they don't know what they're doing on offense. Like, it looks very different from
coaching, man. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, a lot of it is coaching. It's just like the execution is just. He's so slow to adjust, Bud. Like I talked about this a couple episodes. Like, sometimes he can't adjust like most coaches, like at halftime or in the timeout or in the next game. It like takes him 2 or 3 games to say, okay, this really ain't working. Now let me try something else. And that's why I think they got in the hole against the Hawks, because they was clearly the better team.
I agree.
What you gotta say, Keith?
No.
Middleton.
I feel like no. First of all, chill out. Middleton is solid. Middleton is solid. Y'all not gonna just try to play that man.
That's cool,
bro.
That man. Look, 29. He came in 29 on his first finals, and he came to play. I think honestly,
I mean, they were down 15 plus.
Stop. Okay, first of all, don't be saying 26. Don't say 26 shots like he Russell Westbrook out here just throwing up Hail Marys. All right, chill out.
Some games he is.
All right. What I'm saying, look. The Bucks are at a disadvantage, all right? They played against the Suns team that I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, they ain't really having, besides Chris Paul's 2 COVID games, they really haven't experienced that much injuries. They've got
he had a shoulder injury. Chris Paul had a shoulder injury. And your boy Sarge out for the finals now.
Yeah, Sarge is out. But like besides that, they still got depth with both Cameron Johnson and Cameron Payne. They both came to play. Let's not forget. I think, Jay Crowder gets a lot of praise because he's playing defense, which I feel like he's just more just an antagonizer. He's just a bigger Patrick Beverly. But I mean,
he serves his role. Bro. Yeah, I hate his game, but he serves his role.
What? Don't say wow. Don't say wow. I mean, how many points he dropped? Like what? 1 point? Like probably 1 rebound. 1 point, 1 rebound. I mean, Mikal Bridges. Huh?
He not a scorer.
Still though,
he can score, but I mean, he serves his purpose.
I'm talking about
Crowder. We needed Jay Crowder.
He's just there to annoy. That's all it is. He's just there.
I agree.
That's it. But I feel like with the Bucks, what they need to do is simply, it comes down to they need more help from their bench. I mean, I think ever since they lost Dante DiVincenzo, that was a big. He was a walking bucket on their team. Something that they need right now. Kind of looking at players that you thought would be effective, like Jeff Teague. where he at.
Jeff
Ain't
Teague
nobody.
shouldn't even be in the league anymore.
Jeff Teague,
All-Star break.
they going. They rolling with Pat.
Hold on, he gave good minutes in that game 6 against Atlanta. Let's not do
And
that.
that's the only thing we ever going to see from Jeff Teague for the rest of the playoffs.
That's what his role is now.
It's like they rolling with Pat. I'm like, Pat. I don't know, Pat. I don't know. He got a.
Hey, look, if we count on Dante DiVincenzo to be your difference maker, the Bucks got some problems.
No, he would have been a good difference maker.
He was a good bucket, a good 10 points. 10 points.
You called him a walking bucket.
He can shoot and he can defend.
Yeah, that man ain't
he definitely would have helped.
He's playing his role better than some of the other guys.
Like I said, Jeff Teague ain't doing nothing. Pat can't keep up with Cameron Payne.
Terrible bench, guys.
Pat can't keep up with Cameron Payne.
I'll take him over my Celtics.
PJ Tucker, like I said, I think he's a
good defender.
He's a good defender, but it's just I don't know. I think he's not where he was when he was in Houston. I'm sorry. And then I think if Bobby Portis can get that, if he can just be that boost that they need, like they had before in Game 5, he can definitely be a good help for them. So I think that bench is what they need, and hopefully Giannis can get the ball rolling, because once he starts going downhill, he can't be stopped. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it looks like the advantage goes to the Suns. This is, like I said, the stars have aligned for them, for Chris Paul to get his first championship. But I still feel
like Giannis looked much different than when he's normally healthy in that game?
I will say Giannis looked better game 1 than I thought he would look, given like the hyperextension. That usually takes 2 weeks to a month to heal, and he looked better. So if he can play a better game, then they have a better shot. But it's all on his health. Like if he regresses, this series is over. It could be Suns in 4.
No.
I said it could. If Giannis regresses, we got Chris Middleton to win the game. I think not.
They ain't winning the game.
If you count on Middleton, no.
Middleton gonna get you a game in this series.
No, all right. You're right.
Middleton will get you a game in this series.
I hope.
Like I said, I see the Suns 4-2. Like I said,
same. I see Suns 4-2.
This is the thing, man. Coaching, Monty gonna outcoach, but that's easy. CP3, you got to contain him, and you got to kind of control him and keep him.
And that's what Drew's supposed to do.
Keep him to at least one side of the floor. If you let Booker go off and do what he do, that's fine. You can't have CP3 just going all over the floor and kill it. Then you in some trouble, because he's just that good, and he's gonna he's gonna make the right play. He's gonna make the right play. The Bucks need their others to step up. I think Giannis will give you. He gave you 20 on 6 for 11. You know what I mean? And he was like 7 for 12 from free throw line. So he was making some of his free throws. But and then you had some questionable calls in that for game 1. The rest was just deep, deep, deep. I'm like, come on, let these guys play. But the Bucks others need to make plays. They gotta score. Your third option, Drew Holiday, has to be. I think if the Bucks want to win the final, Drew Holiday got to play to a top 10 level.
What does he need to give you a night? 20?
I think he need to give you 20 plus.
Yeah. So
and 18 is good.
From Drew Holiday, I need 25 at least.
No, you don't need 25 from Drew.
No. I need 20. I need 20 from Drew, 25 from Middleton. Would y'all say?
Yeah,
that's
and 30 from Greek, because that's gonna make up almost 60 plus,
right?
67 points. You're gonna need that. I think the Suns' big three had like 80 plus or something like that. So you're gonna need that.
Do you think? My point is, do you think you're gonna get that for 4 games?
No,
but here's
somebody could probably make up a little bit of that 20 or 25 from.
But the one thing that we're forgetting about Drew, even though he was bad offensively, his greatest strength is as a defender. You want Drew to really, like what Drew did, a few years ago when he was in New Orleans, where him and Rondo strapped up Dame and CJ. You want him to contain Chris Paul. I'm not saying Chris Paul, he shouldn't get 30 a game for these finals. He should get his 18, maybe 20. You make Chris Paul earn these tough shots. You put PJ Tucker or either Booker or Cameron Payne or Johnson, and you put Chris Middleton on the other. Like, use your matchups. You have a lot. The Bucks have size, but like you said, Suns have better coaching. If Budenholzer can realize you have the size to match up with all their skilled players, just use them. But he's inept, and we're gonna see why. Not probably tonight, but when they go to Milwaukee.
But see, I agree with what you're saying. Like, Drew Holiday can get his own shot. He can get to the basket. He can do all of these things. It's just like he just doesn't do it. Like, I mean,
he do it, but he can't finish. And I've been watching that a lot. He can't finish. He'll get around the rim. He'll make a good move and get there, but he's not finishing the basketball. And then you have these, like, you know when he's going to shoot because he's dribbling and then he's going to step back and shoot. Like, come on, that ain't good offense. That ain't good offense.
Yeah, he likes to do that little fadeaway turnaround stuff. It's like that's Chris Paul is a lot. I'm not gonna say he's a lot smaller than him, but he is smaller. He's a lot older than you. You have got to make Chris Paul work at least on the defensive end. Like he didn't work at all really in that last game.
He didn't.
He didn't work. It didn't work at all. And so we'll see what happens in game 2 tonight. I got the Bucks winning tonight. It's gonna shake up a little bit. It's gonna shake up the series a little bit.
They need to win, or Jerrell might be
have some prediction. What?
They might get swept. They need to win tonight.
They ain't gonna lose on their home floor.
Milwaukee will get one. First of all, Milwaukee got to go back home. They will get one. Yeah. Role play. I feel like their role players will step up at home, but I think for tonight it's really on Drew. Drew's guy is going to have to step up big time for them to get this win. I think Brook Lopez and 8, and they'll cancel each other out, but it's really all on Drew.
20. He had 20. 8 had 20 and 20 last game.
I mean, he should have had 20 and 20, but Chris was like, "Nah, I'm getting this rebound, bro." Like, he didn't want him to be great.
You're right.
Yeah, you know, it was. I mean, it wasn't pretty last game. It wasn't pretty last game, and I can see that. But I wasn't panicking though. I wasn't panicking.
Yeah, if you're a Bucks fan, you shouldn't be panicking because you know the Bucks didn't play their best game. If the Bucks play their best game and they got smacked, yeah, you need to panic. But they played a horrible game, and in the finals, especially like we're all old enough to watch finals from the 90s on till now, or at least the 2000s. There's a whole bunch of blowouts. There's at least 1 or 2 blowouts every finals where it's just like it's just their day. It's just what it is. We got to regroup and go from there.
I mean, LeBron had a lot of them.
Absolutely. He's been a part of a lot of them.
I mean, his series didn't get good to like the last 2 games of the series.
Jerrell, you're right. But again, you mentioned that you felt like this could possibly be a sweep. Now, we played 1 game. Why do you feel that way?
I feel if Giannis doesn't perform, like if he regresses because of the hyperextension, then yeah, it's a sweep. You need Giannis to be as healthy as possible because he's the best option for Milwaukee. Now, if they go down 2-0, they do go back to Milwaukee and they should win a game. But if Giannis looks like trash, yeah, it's a wrap. That's why I said.
Would you say the Suns better than the Bucks? I mean, better than Brooklyn?
No. A healthy Brooklyn? No.
Are better than Brooklyn?
Yeah, just the Brooklyn that played in the playoffs right now.
They're probably as good.
If Brooklyn was in the finals right now, would you take the Suns?
No.
The way the Suns playing right now,
No.
I might.
I wouldn't.
But
the way Ayton is playing light years better.
Because no one on the Suns can guard Kevin Durant, and that's the end of the series. Like that's it.
Say what?
I said no one on the Suns would be guarding.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
What?
Listen, you do the same thing like we saying they need to do with Paul. You got to neutralize him to his, like if Devin Booker scored 40 a game and you neutralize Chris Paul, I think the Bucks could win by 10 plus points. I don't feel like if you stop everyone else out there and you let the main, I mean, nobody's stopping KD. I don't feel like the Bucks stopped KD, but they didn't. Right. Like you stop. I feel like they kind of stopped and slowed down every injuries included, but they slowed down every other piece that they had out there.
Fair.
Like KD ain't gonna score 100 points. You know, he ain't gonna score 100 points in no game. None of these guys gonna score 80 points, 65 points, or nothing like that. Not for 4 games.
Exactly.
So yeah, I feel like the Suns could beat them. I feel like the Suns could definitely beat Brooklyn.
But and we look at that. and the Bucks were down 2-0, you know, in that series, and made a change and came back and took it to 7. And you know, Giannis played terrific in that game 7, and then you know, Drew and Middleton hit some big shots, timely shots. I think Giannis is going to take you and get you going, but Drew and Middleton got to help him.
Yeah, because
in those key moments.
What did Giannis have, like 20 and 17? I think he shot over 50%. Like him being hurt, like y'all mentioned, you ain't gonna get much more than that from him. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, he may be able to score you 5 or 6 more points from the line or something if you have a good night, but yeah, Drew and Middleton have to be these guys, and I've never seen that from either of them. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Giannis will have a 30-point game in this series.
Oh yeah,
I
think his 20-point game is the lowest he ever gonna have in this series. I think that's what it's gonna be. But we're gonna see tonight, man, fellas. Hour-long pod is probably the shortest one we got. Thank God. Thank y'all for coming out, man, and being on the Talking Noise podcast. How you like it, man? How was it?
It was good. It was always good to talk shop. You know,
Make sure y'all go check out 1,000 Jumpers.
Yes, sir.
Podcast. I mean, we ain't gonna discriminate. We always promoting people's stuff. 1,000 Jumpers, my boy podcast. I told Harper about your podcast before you came on, and check him out. My boy K Dubb.
Derrick, I'm a little upset with you too.
Why?
You ain't even shout me out. What's tomorrow?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, no. See, what happened is I was going to make a post because I thought we was doing it Monday or next week, so I didn't make the post. But we cannot leave this premise and this podcast without saying happy birthday to my boy Harper. His birthday is tomorrow.
Hey, turn up.
So we gonna take a shot for you, I guess, at midnight and get it going, man. 33, you get old, man. What you got playing? I'll look at it.
Kata was already prepared. So
He owned it.
Here you go.
My mother and my son, I'll probably kick it with them, you know. I don't know, man. You know I don't do too much, Derrick. I don't hang out like that, you know. I stay to myself, man. You know. But again, man, I appreciate y'all coming on, man. I hope y'all can come on again. And we can we have a couple more topics, but yeah, I love the exchange, man. I love your hot and cold with my taste. Yeah, I like that.
Look, I'm seeing things y'all don't see, but y'all see it sooner or later. Don't worry.
But make sure you go like and subscribe, man. You can always subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Like us on Instagram, like us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and make sure you subscribe. Also, Spotify, like us on Spotify, subscribe on Spotify. Reach out to us for Jerrell, for K-Dubb, for Harper. Thank y'all for coming out, man. Episode 8, Talking Noise Podcast, man. We out.
Kobe.